Good morning. Welcome to Sports Talk. Glad to have you with us here. Beautiful Saturday morning. Outside this morning, clear skies. And let's see, I was going to see what the temperature was. 48. 48 at this point. So that's really warm morning for what we've been having. Not quite as cold, not below freezing at least. And I think we got maybe one big day of rain coming up Wednesday, I think. Some storms coming through. So springtime weather. It is March.
Yep.
By the way.
Buds are popping in the trees.
Is that too early for that?
Yeah.
Evidently not.
They're
but
doing it.
It is doing it. Oh, man. Lots of sports to talk about this week. But before we do, I want to just mention something to you guys. You know, we always send each other a message when a famous person goes down or whatever it may be. But Gene Hackman this week. And is anybody heard? Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog all found dead in the home.
Man, you know, they've got to do toxology reports and.
Well, I heard one theory last night. No, I don't remember where it's that. He was found in the mud room near the front door, and they thought he had failed. And then were debating on who died first.
Yeah.
And they said something about they thought, but I don't know how that maybe the wife had died first. And it said he'd become such an invalid that maybe he was in a panic and failed. And said the dog, he thought the dog maybe he was in a carrier. And he might have starved to death.
He might have starved to death.
Oh, because it'd been that long.
I mean,
I read something.
They come up crazy
that
theories,
said
maybe that was how 3 could die at one time. But
I said last
night. I heard him last night say that.
You need to almost touch yourself with that mic.
I heard him say last night that. I can't remember exactly what I was going to say, but
hey, you're catching my eyes.
Nine. They thought he'd been dead 9 days.
Yeah, well, the last activity
Wow.
on his pacemaker was February 17th.
That's what this going by, Mike. You're right.
So was this a wellness check by the police, or who found him?
Somebody come by
Some of
house
the workers who were doing some work around the house, landscape and routine stuff, that sort of thing, they were concerned because they came to do some work and the door was open, front door. No carbon monoxide.
Well, I had heard that didn't think it was.
Good morning to Joey. Good morning to Ned. Glad to have you with us this morning here. Gonna get into sports, but I just thought this is just one of those rare things here that that we all
one of the best I thought in our lifetime.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'd heard some speculation at first that maybe he died and then the wife committed suicide.
Yeah,
things
that
like
too.
that. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things made up before.
And they'd
before
said
you
that
find out the
those
truth.
scattered pills were cholesterol, blood pressure.
Okay.
So they were typical
Just
maintenance
standard
drugs.
maintenance medication.
And he was
Nothing-
95.
95.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe this. He hadn't made a film since 2003. I would have thought it hadn't been that long, really. I guess you see him so much, I guess, on TV that you don't.
Well, you see his old films.
So
much. And
Well, he would have been in his 70s then, right?
Yeah.
Or,
yeah.
oh,
Let's see, won 2 Oscars, nominated 5 times. My favorite one, though, let's face it, guys, one of the great ones of all time, Hoosiers. He played Norman Dale, the coach who came to Tawny, what was the name of the high school, Midland High School or something?
Hickory
High School.
That's right, Hickory High School.
And didn't win anything for that.
I know. No.
Did Dennis Hopper?
He should have.
He might have won
I think
supporting
he did.
actor, maybe.
I think he did.
Yeah. Okay.
And he said during the filming he didn't think it was going to be any good. But then once he saw it, said, okay.
French Connection, and what was the other one that he won?
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven.
Okay.
He broke on the scene in Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah. He played Clyde Barrow's brother.
Being Barrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched that as a kid.
Yeah.
The Conversation. You guys ever seen
that was a good movie.
One of my
That was a
favorite
good one.
Gene
That was a
Hackman
good
movies.
one.
And don't
That's
forget,
a Francis Ford Coppola
that's right.
movie.
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
That was an early film too.
It was in the 70s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ned says he heard he was in 79 movies.
Yep. 70 out of 80 films. That's right.
Yeah. Who do you think's been in the most movies all time?
Oh boy.
I don't know why I threw that out there. When I just saw the number 79, I just wonder what the number is.
Well, there's plenty of them that have been in over 100.
Yeah, probably 500.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
People with small roles,
Small roles,
yeah.
cameos.
A lead actor hadn't been in 500, but
Right.
Can't afford him, or he's too busy in the main one. You know, I mean, 500. That just makes me wonder how many can you shoot in a year. I mean, my gosh. If you I guess those.
well,
like
if you only
said,
have one
the
scene, then
minor actors
Yeah.
are moving
Shoot
around,
one.
bouncing
Right.
around,
Yeah.
and hopefully they're mostly in Hollywood or whatever, and they're not having to. Oh, yeah, that's amazing to be in there.
What was the name of the sheriff he played? The bad dude sheriff in Unforgiven. I can't think of his
I'm like
name
you,
right
Mike.
now.
I can't.
Was it not Bill something?
yeah,
Yeah.
Bill
Yeah.
Daggett,
Bill Daggett.
Daggett,
Yeah.
Mike.
Crimson
Sound like a
Tide,
bad
another
guy,
good.
don't it?
Yeah, Crimson Tide was a good one. So many.
He's in the firm.
See, I knew there was a
Firm.
sports link. Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide.
Let's see. Mike Painter says, "Good morning, Sports Talk guys. It was good seeing y'all last night.
Oh, yeah.
I hate we missed you. I won't get to see you this morning, Mike. I won't go into details. How are you feeling? We'll just put it that way. Brett, my picture on here says Luka Doncic caps 8-0 run with a 3 to help the Lakers and the Clippers on his 26th birthday. On his 26th
Help the Lakers
birthday.
beat the Clippers.
Is that what did I say?
You just said help the Lakers and the Clippers.
Oh, well, he didn't help the Clippers too much. My bad there. Yeah, help him beat the Clippers. So
Yeah,
is
what
he
is his
finally
birthday?
is he starting to find his groove as a
Yeah,
Laker?
a little bit. He's still not shooting real well. I think he's just a little rusty and just trying to get back in shape from having time off with the injury. But he just shot 9 for 22, but he did have 31.
What's weird to me is it seems like he's been in the league to me 10 years.
Yeah.
and he's 26.
Right,
You know,
right.
I mean, I know he hadn't been in the league.
Well,
10 years.
he did come in at age 19.
Did he?
So
seven going on 8. So.
yeah, he was drafted in 2018.
And from
yeah,
where's he
this is-
from? Which country is he from?
Slovenia, I think. I think it's Slovenia.
You make that one up?
Yeah.
Sounds
I
good to
wasn't
me.
sure. Yeah, I like it. I am okay. My dumbness here. Europe, is that Europe?
Yeah.
Slovenia. I don't
And
know
I think
what it would
and
be
Jokic
near.
is from
It's be Eastern
Serbia.
Europe, I guess.
Serbia.
Eastern Europe.
Joker's what?
He's from Serbia.
Serbia, which is from in same place.
Also in Europe, I don't know any
Somewhere in
any more
Eastern Europe,
details
that's
than
all
that.
we know.
Most of these star players are coming from.
Yeah.
Most of them, not
Part
all,
of the
but
former
most of them
Soviet Union.
are
Long-term.
coming from Wemby. Where's Wemby?
France.
France.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's French.
I know where that is. Not that I've been there, but I know where it is at least. And are those the top 3 right now? Would you say those are the top 3,
International, yeah.
International
well, there's some
players.
good Canadian players too.
such as?
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander,
Yeah, that name gets me every time.
Yeah.
who's one of the top candidates for MVP.
When I first
this
saw
year.
the commercial that he and
Chet Holmgren,
Chet Holmgren were in, honestly, I didn't know. I thought they were actors. And then I found out, they really are players in the league. I got to give them a lot of credit for singing in that commercial when it was not your prime time singing, obviously. But yeah, they did it as a joke, I'm sure. I hope they did. Anyway.
Yeah.
But
Jamal Murray, Joker's teammate, also from Canada.
from Canada, but now maybe I got him mixed up with somebody else. Did he play college ball?
Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
That's what I was thinking. I thought he was
So
playing
did
college ball.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Where did he play his college
At
ball?
Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Man, all this talent, we are really, really, really hammering Calipari
Yeah.
this morning
Well,
for
the
not
goal
winning
of
more titles.
The goal of all his coaching was to get guys ready for the NBA after 1 year.
That's right.
Yeah.
He had no problem with the one and done.
Nope.
Yeah, you could put a just Kentucky team together, and they might could win the title.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they would be really good
Well,
with
yeah.
those two: Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis.
Oh, yeah.
Booker.
Yeah, Devin Booker.
Do they all stay healthy? Is there a common thread? The first thing came to my mind is you named a couple. It seems like they're out a lot. Am I right? that
Uh,
miss a lot of
Anthony
time to
Davis
get in?
out of those is the most injury prone.
Yeah.
That's it really. I mean, I
Okay,
think
okay.
I'll just call him SGA. I think he's missed
Thank
a
goodness.
little bit of time.
That's a lot of words to say. What if they announce his whole name every time he hits a? I bet they do. Every time he hits a shot, in the arena, in the home
Yeah,
arena.
I'm
anyway.
sure they've got
Stop.
a nickname for him.
Speaking of Kentucky, I've heard something on the way up. Possible 14 teams from the SEC getting in the big dance. That they were speculating about that. That's hard to believe.
It is.
And how many do they have?
12.
Yeah,
They don't even have 14.
Don't they have is it
16?
16, I believe.
Now, you can't tell me South Carolina's going in.
They're not getting in.
They're not getting.
So who's the other? If they do get 14, we don't know they will.
LSU,
But if they,
LSU probably might.
LSU,
Yeah, LSU's 3-12 in conference.
Well, they were even talking about Oklahoma, like 4-12 or 11. They got a chance to
Yeah.
get in.
calls it RPI, I
Yeah.
guess.
So yeah, they're 17-11 overall, 4-11 in conference. So they're 13-0 outside of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
SEC.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping they get it right, and when the seeding comes around, and it's not all loaded on one side,
Yep.
like the high school basketball playoffs have turned out to be in several different classifications in men's and women's.
Oh, no.
That you can't predict upsets. I don't know what they could do to improve how they seed or whatever. I mean, RPI is basically all you got to go on if you're not just going to go top line plays line 3, and that kind of thing. But it has turned out that the basketball playoffs in high school seem to be,
Repeat, rinse, and repeat.
real tough brackets, and then one side, a
seem to be.
little easier. But football usually don't turn out that way, does it, Brett? It's pretty close when the football seeding comes out and they do all that. And it's still going to wind up being, I would guess, once it's all said and done, we got it right. We got number 1 playing number 2.
Yeah.
Or we got number 1 playing number 3. I mean, it's going to work out when it gets all the way to the
All
end.
the way to
but
the end.
it might. I will say this, and where I'm leading to, we saw a great matchup last night in Maiden for the 4th time this year. Lincoln and Maiden met, and another classic. I mean, just exactly the reason the gym was full before capacity before it ever started was because it was another one of these overtime classics last
Second
night.
overtime out of 4 meetings.
Mm-hmm. And another one, Mike, was a last-second shot.
And if you dig deep into it, even though although last night was overtime, you look at the score again, it's literally the same from the last game.
Almost.
70-69. Maiden had the same score, 69.
Wow.
I mean, that extra 4 minutes. But
Yep, we're going to get into that in a little bit, no doubt about it. Good morning, Hooks. He's up this morning, kept me updated last night, all night long on North Lincoln basketball. North Lincoln girls a winner last night in round 2. North Lincoln boys not as fortunate. They fell to Hunter Huss in the second round.
Yeah, when I saw that matchup, I said, it's going to be a tough matchup. Huss is athletic, playing that Big South 3A, which is tough. Splendid season for North Lincoln boys, but they went down.
And this is just rumors I've been hearing, nothing set in stone, so don't write this down or anything, but swan song for Dennis Fry.
Is it?
Retirement time
Okay.
is the words I've been hearing
Wow.
around. So
So you're saying North Lincoln may have to replace men's basketball, and they've already just replaced football.
you know what we'll be saying one day? Replacing men's football.
Yeah.
You know why?
Wow.
You don't know why?
No time.
Flag football
Oh, flag football.
is
okay. Why?
storming, and
Yeah.
it's coming.
Okay.
It's coming. Flag football. I don't know how. It's already in North Carolina, isn't it?
I think it is.
I think we already have some high
I
schools,
think it's
maybe in the eastern part, playing flag football. Maybe in the Charlotte area. I don't know.
I know
But
Charlotte has some club teams here just
So-
recently. I remember seeing.
one day we'll be saying men's football,
Okay.
unless you just want to say football and flag football. Only time will tell on that one. Don't know how we got off on all that and wound up talking about flag football when we started with
We
Luca.
probably won't be here when their coaches are stepping aside in women's flag football.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We might see them hired, but we
right, yeah. What do you think about women's flag football being a high school sport?
Well,
I probably won't go to many games.
I've always wondered why we don't have just real women's football, pads and all, and
the whole thing.
yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody,
No.
but I would say you got enough probably to make 8-10 teams. And I'm talking about like a WNFL, if you could imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
But it just depends on when they would show it, whether it would be watched or not. I mean, to me, it took a long time for women's pro basketball to really catch on.
Oh yeah, it's only been in the last 10. I'd say what? Certainly this century, or maybe the last 10 years.
And Caitlin Clark didn't
Clark.
hurt that at all.
Yeah, she sent it to the moon.
Drawing
Yeah.
viewers. So, but it's did I read right? What year did the WNBA start?
It was in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh,
I
was it that long
I
ago?
thought I read that. Is 80s or 90s, and it was what's the Reggie's sister?
Cheryl Miller.
Cheryl Miller.
Cheryl Miller.
You knew who Reggie was. Wasn't she the first ever draft pick?
They started play in 1997.
Oh,
Oh, I was
97.
way off then.
That was the first WM.
Yeah,
Was
June of 97.
was she the first draft pick in the WNBA? Because I don't remember exactly what year she. I think she was.
in the 90s. She was in the
Was she?
90s. But
I just saw something about that a couple.
Well, I
days
was thinking
ago.
she might have been kind of old at that point.
It
But
could
maybe
be.
not. I don't know. But I mean, they still had to start from scratch, so it didn't matter the age of the players that they had to be drafted. I
True.
guess.
Yeah.
If that's how they did it.
Yeah.
And of course, remember too that Charlotte had a franchise in the WNBA,
yeah,
but
Mm-hmm.
went out of business.
Totally forgot that.
Yep.
I did. I totally forgot that.
Didn't
What was her name?
Andrea Stinson.
Sting.
She
Sting,
played
okay.
for
Charlotte
them.
Sting, Andrea Stinson.
Yeah.
From
Okay.
NC
She was
State.
in the she was in the 80s at North Mex. So.
Yeah.
Former Newton Conover coach.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I need to know that because I just saw that the other day, and I thought when I saw the name of who the first draft pick was, my first thought was I didn't even realize that league had been around that long. That she could be the first draft pick because I was thinking way back, maybe even in the 80s, but as Brett says, it was in the actually the late 90s before they started up. But
Who was
still,
the-
that's been almost 30 years now.
Who was the former UConn great that just retired?
Taurasi.
Taurasi.
Diane Taurasi.
I'm all over it, Mike.
You are. Hey, I'm impressed by that answer.
That was luck. That was luck. Don't ask me another one. I'll let Lenny or Brett answer the next one. Won't
How
be
many
me.
ex-UConn players are in the NBA? That's what I.
They're about
couldn't
like
tell you.
Kentucky.
Yep.
Yeah. As far as putting them there, let's see. Ned says remembering a female football league on TV, but it was gimmicky.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Maybe run by a wrestling company.
Yeah.
Oh well, that is not must-watch TV. They wore short shorts and cut-off T-shirts. Well, maybe I changed my mind. I should have read the whole thing first, right?
There was a series. I don't know whether it was Netflix or something. It was about women's wrestling. Professional women's. I think it was called Glow. Remember watching Glow?
Well, that's on now. You can find that on
Yeah.
certain channels
Certain
now.
channels now. Okay.
Maybe not that one, Glow, but there is women's wrestling on TV.
Well, we remember it going back at years and years. I don't remember any particular names, but
Women?
been around.
Cheryl Miller was the coach of the Phoenix Mercury at the beginning of the WNBA. Yeah.
Okay, she
Oh,
was the
okay.
coach. Of the,
She was.
see, but you haven't been able to see who the first.
I
they won't show
can't
you
find
there.
an actual draft. There was
Yeah.
different kinds of. There was player allocation and
Maybe you
different,
could just
different
find-
kinds of things that they
Search
did.
first ever draft
And
pick.
maybe
in
the early
WNBA.
draft might have been like a localized, like
Yeah.
Kind of like a pod system.
Well, it shows there were.
Oh Lord, I hope Butch is not listening.
You know, with
Pod,
with
pod,
the
pod.
steam, you know, because in your area, your team was supplied by
Yeah.
area college teams.
Yeah.
Where the UFL is?
I believe you're right.
Now this shows player allocation. The Charlotte Sting got Vicky Bullitt and Andrea Stinson. The Houston Comets got Cheryl Swoops and Cynthia Cooper.
That's the
Cheryl
name I
Swoops.
remember. It was
Cheryl
Cheryl
Swoops.
Out of Texas Tech.
Yeah.
That's the one I remember as
Yeah.
being the first pick. That's what it was. It was Cheryl Swoops, not Cheryl Miller.
That's right.
The Los Angeles Sparks got Lisa Leslie. And we all remember her. Rebecca Lobo went to the New York Liberty. But I don't think those were draft picks. Yeah, it says players were assigned in no particular order.
I guess it's starting out with trying to balance it.
And then there was a college draft where they drafted players just coming out of college, and Tina Thompson out of Southern Cal was the first pick in that format.
You know what would be interesting to know now is the first year they played, who had the biggest contract and what was it, and what's the biggest contract today. So, I mean, surely it has grown
I'm sure.
big time.
Exponentially.
Yes, I mean, thanks for saying that. I was,
Well,
I was
you
thinking.
talking about
I
that?
always like to use that word.
Well, you was talking about that, even how probably salaries have escalated. You know, when Dawn Staley, she was playing and coaching in South Carolina at the same time, wasn't she? Because he played in the summertime. She was playing for a while in the WNBA, and then was
Coaching
the coach
the
of
college
South
team.
Carolina.
That's pretty good stuff there.
Yeah.
So that kind of tells you probably that at that time the pay scale was not.
I wonder if it's escalated enough, the pay scale that is, where these women don't have to go to Europe and Russia, as we remember, to play to supplement their WNBA salaries all season.
The moral of the story there is don't smoke weed in Russia.
Don't
Is that what
smoke
you?
weed in Russia.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah.
Let's look through some of the headlines. Brett, you can tell me what you think about this or what you know about this. Ohtani eases shoulder concerns. Homers in first at bat.
Yeah, that's a good sign, I guess.
That is a good sign.
Yeah, he had off-season shoulder surgery, and he's just starting to play in live games now. And he did hit a homer yesterday.
And speaking of that, Brett showed me a trivia question last night, and I shared it with Mike. And I don't want you guys to say anything. I want to see if our listening audience, or Lenny may know this, knows the answer to this trivia question that he showed me last night. This Major League Baseball player, now this is phenomenal, Lenny, homered in his first at-bat when he got to the minor leagues in single A. Homered in his first at-bat when he got to Double-A. Homered in his first at-bat when he got to Triple-A. And homered in his first at-bat when he got to the major leagues. And there's no way that's ever being duplicated.
No way.
Is it current?
Nope.
No.
I've never heard of that. I mean, why have we never heard that? I've never heard
There's
that
a
before.
feat that she'll live in infamy.
I mean, that is ridiculous. Not his first game, but his first at-bat.
at-bat.
I mean, it's amazing that you could,
Wow.
in the first week would be hard. You know what I mean? To do that in the first week of all four of those levels.
Well, you could see it.
Big time '80s player.
You could
right,
see
Brett?
it. You could
Yeah.
see it in one
80s and
level,
90s.
But I'm talking about all four.
I know.
I mean, that's big time '80s.
Well, they make a big to do out of it now when kids come into the majors, homer in their first at bat. They get them the ball and do all this
yeah.
kind of thing. And he did it at all
I'll add
four
a
levels.
little extra to that. His first at bat as a major leaguer when he homered was off of Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, that's like icing on top of that big cake.
Yeah.
On top of that 4-layer cake that I wish I had.
Was he a power hitter, Brett?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Don't want to give too many hints because, I mean, but like, I mean, a lot of people would think maybe Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Bobby Bonds, not Bobby, but Barry. But Barry wasn't the power hitter he was later on whenever he was coming up. I mean, he still hit some home runs, but not like he did later on. But, 80s, into the 90s.
I ain't got my head turning now.
I
I'll just be guessing though.
Yeah. Monty says, good morning, STG. I'm a little late to the show, but I'm here. Hey, what's the old saying? Nobody knows that one? Better late than never.
Never.
Late than never.
Glad to have him with us. Think about that trivia question. I hope you heard it as well, Monty. This guy, this player we're looking for, I just learned this yesterday. Homered in his first at-bat in single A, double A, triple A, and the major leagues. Homered in his first at-bat at all four of those levels. And I'd never heard that, and that is a remarkable feat to be able to do something like that. Let's see.
I'll tell you this. First major league at-bat was April of 1986.
First major league at bat.
Yeah, so I give you a timeline.
Yeah, that's one guy I was
40 years
thinking
ago.
then. So
Freddie Scott, good morning. And I hope
Freddie
you didn't look it
Scott.
up, but he's got it right. Don Revels, thought of you this week when I saw this, and he sends me this thing on, I'll have to read this during the break, on Jason Varitek, the captain. I'm sure he's one of Lenny's favorite players. He has always been one of my favorite players. Brett, you remember when we met him for just a brief moment
No.
in Atlanta?
well, you know, he's a Georgia Tech graduate.
Yeah.
So maybe that's.
Or maybe you weren't with me on that.
I can't remember.
Yeah. It was just brief, but what do you remember meeting Mark Teixeira?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Do remember
yeah.
that.
Mark Teixeira was with the Georgia Tech coach in Atlanta, and I said something to the Georgia Tech coach, and his words, I remember him. He said, "This is the guy right here you should meet and want to talk to," and sure enough, he became a major league superstar. He knew exactly what he had in Teixeira. I don't know where Teixeira's from originally. I wonder if he's from the Georgia area to play at Georgia Tech. Did you remember he played at Georgia
Yeah,
Tech?
I did.
Figured you would,
He was,
if anybody did.
but I'm not sure where he's from.
Yeah.
You know, he after his big league career is over, he went back to Georgia Tech.
Did he?
Got his degree.
Okay.
After his Yankees. Had plenty of money, but that was not the.
Definitely admire anybody, all the athletes that do that. Go back and get the degree, because it's not, it's just
That's right. Just
a trophy kind of, because
right.
you're not, it's not going to help you anymore as far financially.
There were some of the famous ones that have gone back. Well, Steph Curry did recently.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Let's get to the famous ones.
Yeah, those would just stick out.
Vince Carter, because I remember he went back on.
Yeah,
a,
I do
Vince
remember
Carter.
that.
He went back during a playoff game, flew back, and then had to fly back to.
I can still
Wherever.
see the video of him in his cap and gown, Vince Carter. For some reason, that one was shown. There's more coverage, I guess, of that one than some of the others. But, yeah, I do remember those guys doing that. Let's see. Punched in the mouth early. The Cavs rallied to drop the Celtics. Don't know anything about that. Haven't seen the scoreboard yet this morning. But I can, just by the headline there, Boston must have jumped out to a big lead and then let it slip away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the two best teams in the East.
Oh, yeah.
Cleveland's 49-10.
They're what?
49-10. Cleveland.
Was that
Whoa.
expected when the season opened?
Not that good of a record.
Yeah. It's not expected now, right? If you had to pick right now, would Cleveland and Boston be in the East
Yeah.
Finals? Okay. Yeah, who's the top contender to knock one of them out? Lenny, Brett.
I don't know. The Knicks are in
Knicks.
third
Knicks,
record-wise, but I don't know. Milwaukee, Indiana, Detroit. I don't know about
But none
any
of them
them.
seem to be on that level, right?
Nah.
And the West would be?
Well, Oklahoma City is leading the West.
They're leading everything, right?
They're one game behind Cleveland
Okay.
for best overall record. Denver, Memphis, L.A. That's the top four in the
Let's
West.
see where L.A.'s 16 games above 500 now.
Clippers?
27-21. L.A. Lakers.
The other L.A., huh?
The other L.A.
Yeah.
Sometimes forget all about the Clippers.
Which teams in the cities that double up are, which one is most irrelevant in all the cities? Is it the
Double
Clippers?
up.
Is it the Clippers?
Well,
White Sox.
Could be yeah.
Be one of those.
After last
one of
year.
those, probably.
After last season for the White Sox, it might be the
Yeah.
White Sox. I still think that in New York, even though they've not been good lately, all the teams have pretty good fan bases. What would you say would be the weakest?
I don't
New
know
York
about the
one?
Nets.
I was gonna say the
Nets
Nets.
would be who
Yeah.
I was going to say, they're
I don't
they're
know
New
about
York
their
now,
fan
aren't they?
base.
Jets still have it, and Giants.
I think the
and
Nets might have been
Yankees
better
and
off in New
Mets.
Jersey.
Ain't this funny? The Jets and the Giants are terrible, but while the Mets and the Yankees are both pretty much on top, you know, and especially in their divisions. Yeah, that's interesting. The Clippers. Who would you rank lower than the Clippers or the Nets? You think the Nets?
I would put the Nets, me.
Well, the Clippers are a better
historically,
team and
are
a
they?
better. They're a better franchise right now.
Who's
I
the
don't-
most irrelevant L.A. professional team
The
of
Angels?
all?
Angels.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a cut, isn't it? I mean, Chargers are okay. I think the
Yeah.
Chargers will be okay. It's going to take them a while to get
Well,
a fan base.
they're better than the Angels are, but
Yeah.
I don't know about the fan support.
Yeah, the Angels may have more fans.
Yeah, probably so. They've been
But-
there a lot longer.
I mean, as you can see, even when the Rams play in L.A. right now, a lot of the crowds are 50-50.
Yeah,
And the Chargers are even worse than that for
Mhm.
their will there ever be a day that we'll see the San Diego Chargers again in our lifetime, which if everything goes as planned, Brett's will be longer than ours.
Yeah.
Or will there ever be a time where you'll see an Oakland anything?
I think that window has shut.
It sounded like it, yeah.
I mean, you know,
It's
Oakland.
a shame because it was a
They've
great
got they got the
sports
Clippers, or did they're in San Francisco, right? They moved to or am I
No,
wrong?
the
they
Warriors.
The Warriors.
I mean
moved
the Warriors.
across the
Yeah.
bay.
Sorry, I meant the
they're-
Warriors.
Their
Yeah, the
arena's
Warriors
on
moved to
Francisco
San
side
Francisco.
now.
It's on the San Francisco.
They are in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And but San Francisco don't really have the 49ers because they're up in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Santa Clara 45 miles. from
But
Frisco.
you know, I mean, there's a few that do that.
Well, the
I
Los
mean,
Angeles Angels are in Anaheim.
Yeah, they are in
Anaheim.
Anaheim.
That's right.
The Dallas Cowboys are actually in Irving, right?
Arlington. now.
Arlington now
Arlington.
was Irving, now
Was.
Arlington. Yeah.
Is that right? Am I wrong?
It is. It's not. I mean, it's a suburb of Dallas, but it's not. It's not exactly Dallas. I mean, there's probably a lot of those though that their stadiums right outside the big city.
Which big time college team is the most removed as far as the stadium from the campus? I always thought that NC State, what's that, 2 miles away? Carter Finley from the main campus.
Not as far as Santa Clara
No.
from San Francisco. I don't know. University of Miami, where they play their football games. Orange Bowl.
What's on Hard Rock, but it's
Hard
Orange.
Rock.
That's a
Yeah.
pretty good ride.
That's a pretty good ride, yeah.
I made that ride. That's a
Well,
pretty good
I
ride.
wonder how far USC and UCLA are
Brett would know that.
from the.
That's right. Because Southern
Yeah,
Cal,
Do they play
UCLA
the
is
Rose Bowl, Southern Cal. Is that where they play?
Yeah.
And
Southern
No.
Cal's at the Coliseum.
Coliseum.
It's
Okay.
close by.
Okay.
UCLA has the ride to the Rose
Okay.
Bowl.
Rose Bowl.
Yeah,
It's a worthy ride though if you're
Yeah.
going to play in the Rose Bowl, right?
Yeah.
I would think.
it's a beautiful ride. A lot prettier than what you see between Miami and
Yeah.
their stadium.
Yeah.
And Southern Cal, of course, in the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so congested. If you're going from Miami to what's the
Hard
Hollywood,
Rock
Florida, or-
Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to Hard Rock from the university's well south of the Orange Bowl, and it's just I don't know that there's any scenery because it's all traffic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just can't move. Let's see. Hook says only player that maybe had homered in each level might have been McGuire or Ken Griffey Jr. In the ballpark. How you like that? You're in the ballpark there, but it's not. It's actually, I would consider this one a little less known than those two.
Yeah, well, he didn't hit near as many home
No,
runs in his
no,
career
right.
as those guys
Right.
did.
Yep. I think I've heard him called. I'm gonna give a nickname, and then we're gonna take a timeout.
Sammy Sosa is.
And I'm gonna give my lyrics first. So, but I'm gonna give you a hint right here before we go to this break. I think I've heard him called the Mule. Or something, or old mule face, or something like that. But I don't know if that was on TV or from a friend that might have called him that. But might give you an idea. I've been driving all night and my hands wet on the wheel. Back in a moment.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com.
Make 2025 the year you move into your new home from Key Builders of Lincoln. Let Key Builders help you make your dream home a reality and do it this year. Visit them online at keybuildersnc.com and check out their photo galleries. They are a licensed general contractor with over 20 years of building history and experience. Make 2025 the year of your new home. See your dream come true at Key Builders, 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook too.
For where 2 or 3 have gathered together in my name, I am there in their midst. Matthew 18:20. You are invited to gather with us at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church, located at 520 Madison Street, just up from Betty Ross Park. Sunday school meets at 10, and worship follows at 11 every Sunday. Follow us on Facebook for special service announcements. Join us Sunday at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church.
Buying a Bobcat is now easier than ever at West End Sales in Vail. Now get 0% APR financing. That means low monthly payments. Or you can get $1,200 instant rebates on selected models. Now is the time to buy. Like we said, it's easier than ever. Again, get 0% APR financing or get $1,200 instant rebate on selected Bobcat models at West End Sales at the Highway 1827 West intersection in Vail. Online at westendsales.com and like them on Facebook too.
Welcome back. Mike and Lenny will have to continue that conversation
On air.
in about 20. Okay, that works too. That works too. Getting a few more guesses here on the home run thing. The you can't call it the trifecta. What would you call what he did there with the The four factor.
The quartet.
What's the figure four? With those more wrestling in there.
Yeah.
The figure
Figure four. Not a figure eight.
Mike Painter guesses Jose Canseco, but that is not correct.
No.
Steve K up this morning
Steve K.
already has got the name of the song and the artist. Ned got the name of the song, but says he does not know the group. Y'all guys know it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody in here knows the one. Ned says it would be the Quadfecta.
Yeah.
So there you go. So I guess that makes a lot more sense than mine did. But our first lyrics this morning, Radar Love.
Radar Love.
Been driving all night, my hands wet on the wheel. One of my favorite songs.
Now, that is a
this
great
group
song.
did not have enough songs.
No.
Did they do Lunatic Fringe?
No.
That was Red Rider?
Yeah.
Okay. They get me. I've always thought that those band members would be the same because they sound so much alike.
Yeah.
But Red Rider did have one more. What was it? They had one more hit. Either that or Golden Earring did, not Red Rider. Golden Earring had one more hit than that, I think.
They remind me of another band that had one great song, Green Eyed Lady by Sugarloaf. Remember that one?
I do remember that song.
But I never heard anything else by that.
Oh man, that's
Green Eyed Lady.
I gotta know what this other song was.
By which one? Golden Earring?
Yeah,
Golden Earring.
either them or Red Rider 1 had two hits. I think it was Golden Earring though that had.
Twilight Zone.
There you go. Yes, yeah, I love that one. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Yeah, it may be.
Yeah, that's kind of similar to Lunatic Fringe, I think.
Yep, it is. Scott said in horse racing they call it the superfecta.
Superfecta.
And if anybody knows the horse racing, it would be Scott. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't they from Holland? And I guess he's talking about
Golden Earring.
Golden Earring. Yeah, I'd have no idea.
Sure.
No idea where. Yeah.
Everything
Probably Amsterdam.
Yeah, everything about that song, the vocals, the lyrics. Yeah, it is a good one.
Hook,
Great road song.
Hook says Radar Love.
A
Golden
Dutch
Earring.
rock band.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yeah.
As opposed to that Danish pop band. Was it Danish or Swedish? Swedish. ABBA.
Oh my God.
Oh, God.
Hey, I can't believe you.
No, boy.
Yeah, but you take their money.
ABBA. Well, I'd take a lot of people's money, but
Yeah.
but I promise you this: they won't take mine.
You'll never go to an ABBA reunion.
Those are good lyrics there, though. I've been driving all night, my hands wet on the wheel. There's a voice in my head that drives my heel.
Heel.
Drives my heel.
Oh yeah, heel. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. Those are of course, yeah. Obvious, wasn't it, Mike? Going down through the rest of the highlights real quickly this morning. Embiid to miss the remainder of the season due to knee. What year is he in? Joel Embiid, 76ers. What would you guess?
10.
I was going to say it seems like. Don't you think, guys? It seems like he's been in the league a long time, and it just seems injury after injury after injury.
Seemed like
I mean,
it, but it maybe hadn't.
and when does he give up? I mean, I know the check's still good.
Yeah.
Well, I think they did that this year because their record is so bad, and they're at the point where they don't want to win any more games.
Yeah.
They have a top 6 protected pick, meaning if they land between
Can't be
1
out
through
of
6,
6.
they keep it. If it falls out of the top
okay.
6,
They don't
they
want 'em
lose it.
anymore.
Okay, when you first said that, I translated that to mean they were going to be a top 6 pick. But you mean if they are in the top 6, they keep it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and right now they're on the borderline for. I mean, it'll depend on where they fall in the lottery, but they got a better chance if they keep losing. And I think there's some teams probably tanking for Cooper Flagg right now.
Yeah.
Where would he be the best fit? The NBA?
Duke, yeah.
The Duke, okay.
I'd like to
I think he fits in pretty good.
I think
at
he
Duke.
fits Duke very well for next year.
Yeah. They better slow down a little bit. I really like him, don't get me wrong, but comparisons to Larry Bird probably ought to that's some heavy shoes to fill.
Well, I heard
not exactly.
biggest part of that's because they're white.
I heard
Yeah.
Is it
And
not?
they're both what?
Bill
6'8",
Simmons.
6'9".
comparing him to Larry Bird. And Bill Simmons is a diehard Celtic
Yeah.
who's
He
from
is.
Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say Larry Bird's probably his favorite athlete of all time.
Probably.
And he's even comparing him and saying what Cooper Flagg's doing at 18 is
Yeah.
What's the
has
chances?
surpassed what Larry Bird was doing at 18.
What's the
but
chances that Cooper winds up in Boston?
Pretty slim.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because he got the overall game. Bird was a great passer as well as a great shooter, rebound, everything. So
Yeah, I mean, he says Cooper Flagg doesn't have Larry Bird's shot
No.
yet.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
more athletic
Right.
and
I agree with that.
a little better ball handler than Bird was. But
Is he the passer that Larry Bird? I don't know.
I
if
think
he's
he's
the passer,
getting there.
but- Okay.
I think,
yeah.
at age 18, he's probably
Bird could throw some,
as good of a passer as Bird was at 18.
jaw-dropping passes in
Yeah,
big
look at a
games.
Bird highlight.
Yeah.
Those passes are unreal.
Yeah.
It
But it's-
reminds
I mean,
me
it's-
of Pete Maravich.
Yeah.
Bird's the top 10 player of all time.
Easily.
It's hard to, Cooper Flagg's going to have to go out and do it,
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully Duke pays more than the NBA this upcoming season. They'll have
That's
him
what
for
I'm
one
hoping
more.
for.
Monty had two guesses on the home run guy that hit one at every level. Arid. And then he corrected it to A-Rod.
Arid.
I'm just kidding.
Arid
I like it.
wasteland.
Yep. A-Rod is incorrect, however. Got to go back a little further.
That's a great trivia question.
It
for
is.
The whole 2
And A-Rod
hours.
to me is a good guess.
Yeah.
Because he was a phenom. Didn't he play at Miami from the time he played?
Did he
at,
play or he got?
I don't
or
know.
did he- I think he was going to Miami.
Was going,
but I
but
don't
never
know
did.
whether he played
Never
there
did.
or not. I'm not sure, but I think he's like 19 when he.
Yeah, I don't
See him
I
hit
don't
the
think he
shot the
played
other night
college
to
ball.
win somebody some money.
Signed, but he didn't.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, he hit some kind of shot, half court shot the other night at a ball game somewhere that won somebody else.
Who did?
A-Rod.
I saw it.
Yeah, and then also in the same week, what was it? There's something else to win money or tuition or something. There was something else happened.
It was a college game, and the insurance company
That's it.
wouldn't pay it.
Yeah.
College paid it.
Yeah,
Yeah, UMass, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it was.
It was UMass, I believe.
the game I'm thinking about, the Chiefs' superstar quarterback.
Mahomes.
He celebrated with the guy that won it. So is that the same one? Because I expect that to be in around Texas Tech or something.
He was at
Yeah,
the
he
Texas
was at
Tech.
Texas Tech game last-
Houston. Was it
yeah.
Houston, Texas Tech?
Something happened there. Maybe it was a putt. Maybe that was the one that was a full court putt.
It was a putt.
Yeah, and somebody made a full court putt. Can you imagine that?
Full court
Putting on that hardwood.
Wow.
Like
It was a
last,
putt.
and it
That's
went right
exactly
in.
right.
And,
They did that at
and Mahomes come on the court and
Bandy's at the Christmas
Really?
tournament this year. They had a little putting contest at halftime.
We're gonna get into that in a minute. How about Bandy's?
Well,
Girls and boys both still alive.
Alive.
Yeah. Also, that Christmas tournament, Brad, you remember, didn't they have halftime? Somebody from a particular school go out there and hit free throws, and I'm trying to remember something about
Go
that.
out there and
didn't-
hit them.
Well, free throw shooting contest. At
I didn't.
halftime.
I only saw one game in the tournament. So,
Okay.
and the one I saw, there was putting going
Yeah.
on at halftime.
I like it.
And at the Bandy's
A fundraiser.
at the
I'm
Langston
guessing.
Yeah.
Bandy's regular season game, there was kids riding unicycles at halftime.
You used to see that a lot at Newton. When you went to Newton Conover, they'd be riding the unicycles.
So Bandy's is good at putting on a halftime show.
That's right.
Hey, I like it, and that one I'm sure was for those kids. But,
Yeah.
but some of them are good fundraisers. I don't know what they charge now to take those half court shots or those
Yeah.
full court or putts, but it's an extra way for the schools to make some money on the side. Boy, I tell you, we are really going through these headlines very slowly this morning. Last
Yeah, we
one
got
we
about
talked about
6
was
to go.
Embiid.
The show will be ended before we get to the end.
Here's probably the oddest one of the day. Trump
is.
says he will pardon baseball legend Pete Rose.
Yeah, that's the one that jumped out at me
Yep.
when I was looking at
Will he ever get in the Hall of Fame is the question.
Yeah, but it's not going to really matter even if he gets pardoned if he doesn't get in the Hall.
Yeah, I don't see him spending much time behind bars
No.
at this point. So
He did spend, 5 months?
did he?
I believe so.
Yeah, been a good trivia question in itself. Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know that. Honestly, I'd forgot. I didn't know he was ever. Couldn't remember he was ever behind bars. But
I think he will.
The odds was, the logic was,
I think.
probably.
yeah.
And that's sad.
I know a friend of
That's
mine
sad.
who met him said, Ernie Bridges said, Pete told him a couple of years ago, he stayed at the hotel and said, Ernie, he said, I done give up. It'll happen. It'll happen when I'm gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what he
It
told
says
me.
he spent 5 months in prison in 1990 for tax evasion.
Yeah.
So for tax evasion,
Failing to
nothing
report
do with-
income from gambling, autograph appearances, and baseball memorabilia sales.
Well, let me ask you this then. Okay, that's what he got convicted of and spent time for. Is betting on baseball for somebody associated a crime?
Not against the law,
Okay,
just
No.
against Major League Baseball.
Ethics.
right. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
rules and ethics,
It's not a
that's
crime.
right.
It's just now point shaving by officials
Is a crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is a crime.
Yeah.
Is a
but,
crime.
yeah. That's
Or
what-
by players,
by
obviously.
Yeah.
players.
By tanking.
Yeah. Who's it easier place to alter a game, an official or a player? Who would
A
have
player, I would think.
Player, yeah.
But he'd have to do it how? He'd have to do it by missing because they all want to hit all their shots.
Turning it
in a-
over.
in a
every
Yeah.
normal
game.
Turn it
but-
over, yeah.
Not playing defense.
Yeah. Well, now that's so it used to be. I think they play defense now way more than they did 10 years ago. So they were all point shaving back then, right? Letting everybody pad their averages or whatever. Stafford agrees to restructure deal with Rams. That's the first I've seen of this. I knew he was on the border there. He was
Yeah.
talking to the Raiders. He was talking to the Giants. But everything led to him being back with the Rams, and I think it's the best fit. Why would you want to leave a system you know,
Yeah.
a coach who is
You won
one
a
of
Super
the best?
Bowl with.
Yeah. And they were just a couple plays away
Yeah.
from knocking Philly out
Oh, yeah.
this year.
They played them better than anybody.
They did. They did.
You mentioned the Giants.
They
David.
always
Look at
start
the next
slow.
ad.
The next headline:
Yeah.
Sources: Giants talk possible addition of Rodgers.
Oh, no.
Aaron Rodgers is going to land somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it might be Vegas, though.
Well, a lot of people said it would be the Rams
Oh, yeah.
if what's his name left.
Stafford was gone.
If
yeah.
he left, that it would be the Rams. So, Aaron Rodgers is going to play somewhere. He don't want to go out the way his last couple seasons went. I don't
No.
think. We'll find out if he's capable of having a positive effect on a team.
What do you have? 28 touchdowns with 12 interceptions? I can't remember this season.
I'm going to guess right now. I don't know how many he had, but I'm going to guess right now if he would be put on the Giants roster, he would be 10 times better than the next best quarterback on that roster.
Which is Tommy DeVito.
Who is it? Well, there you go.
A good fella.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. What has happened to the Giants as an organization?
Oh,
Is
boy.
it the Mara family that's let it go? What? And I mean, it's
I
just
don't know.
That's what used to make
the
them top of the
worst
line.
move in history was to let
Maybe it's
Saquon walk out the door and go
Children.
to your rival. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
You let
in your division.
in your division, and could easily been the NFL MVP this year if they gave it to anybody other than quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're just one of those franchises they're just stuck trying to find a quarterback.
Yep.
And
That's it.
I think they gave Daniel Jones too much time,
They did.
Oh, they did. They did.
and they should have moved on from him a couple years ago. And
Absolutely.
Where do they pick in the draft?
Third.
yeah,
Well,
it's
if they're
it's
third,
up
they
to-
should
up
get a
there.
quarterback.
They should, yeah.
Yeah.
But now they claim there's only two big time ones, right?
Yep. Ward
Miami and
And I think
Sam
Cam
in
Ward
Colorado.
is the safest bet.
do you?
He's the one I would want if
Yeah.
I was drafting a quarterback. But
So New England's first. Am I right? I'm forgetting the order.
Mhm.
They're not getting a
No,
quarterback.
Tennessee.
Tennessee's first.
They
Yeah,
are
first.
getting a quarterback, most likely.
Oh, yeah. They got to.
Yeah.
Who's their current quarterback?
Will Levis.
Will Levis from Kentucky.
Yep. Will Levis.
yeah, Cleveland's second, and Yeah, they need a quarterback, but do they? I don't know if that's what they'll draft.
Are they still paying Deshaun Watson? How does that work?
Yeah.
Do we know? Are they okay? And then the second quarterback in Cleveland that started most of the games was whom?
Jameis Winston.
Winston. Oh, INT Winston. He'll throw a couple picks at very key points in the game, it seems like. He even talks to himself about it, about throwing those picks.
And this says, after the trade request of star pass rusher Myles Garrett,
yeah, they're not letting him go.
Cleveland, where they're already thin in depth, that becomes their number one need is a pass rusher.
Who's got two quarterbacks that could start? Has anybody in the league got two quarterbacks that could be starters? That's who you'd want to trade with. You know, if Garrett wants to go and you can get a franchise quarterback.
I can't think of anybody offhand.
Where's Garoppolo these days? I'm not saying he's a franchise quarterback, but he's just a name coming to my head.
Was he with the Rams?
I think he is. And wonder if he would want out of there to have a chance to go somewhere he could play.
Well, of course.
I don't know how old he is either now.
Was Cousins still with Atlanta, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Tripper says Steelers. Tripper says Steelers.
Fields and Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you really like either one of those?
Yeah.
Don't love them.
I'm,
I'd rather have Fields.
The old
than
saying
Wilson.
is, if you got two quarterbacks, you don't have any. Who would you start in that lineup if you were the coach? Who would you start? Wilson?
I would start Fields. I think
Fields.
It's Russell Wilson's he's done.
He's just shell.
He's kind of in neutral. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, it's just like he's not really going backwards, not really going forwards. He's just in neutral now, and it's just not good enough. Right. It's not good enough. Man, quarterback. I always said the hardest job in all of pro sports is finding is playing quarterback. The second hardest is finding a quarterback. Second hardest thing is finding that quarterback. It just it never works out, it don't seem like, for these teams.
How many teams in the NFL? 31, 32?
32.
It's hard to find 31 people walking the earth.
Well, you need 32.
30 who are good at quarterback.
At that age. At football age.
Yeah.
And some of them just go to bad situations where they can't succeed.
Yep.
And you don't know if they're good or not.
Yeah.
Like Baker Mayfield.
I know.
He looked awful for a couple years, but it's because he was with Cleveland.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. Now he looks
and
like
the Panthers.
I mean,
now he's one of the best, 15 quarterbacks in the league anyway.
If they win if Tampa Bay, they've won a Division 4 straight years now, hadn't they?
Yeah, they have.
And a lot of it is
now
is
the guy who was his quarterback coach is moving on to be a head coach, right, at New Orleans. So I don't know how that's going to impact Mayfield in the future.
And that would be, I'm trying to think of who that is.
His name?
I can't remember his name.
I remember.
No, he's not going to New Orleans. Where is he going?
I don't know which one you're talking about. I can't think which one you're talking about. Who the coordinator you're talking about, Mike?
I can't think right now.
Yeah. The Saints hired the Eagles offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore, who was formerly at Dallas.
Yep. Out of Boise State.
Yep. And that's why everybody said, when are they going to name a coach? When are they going to name a coach? Well, they went all the way to the Super Bowl, and they couldn't name the coach yet. So, and I think that's a good hire for them. He's got a good offensive mind. If you get the right defensive coordinator, then, you're going to be set in a division that's
pretty easy.
Anybody's. I mean,
anybody
it's anybody's. Even though Tampa's won it 4 in a row, it's still, there was a time when nobody ever won it 2 in a row. It was somebody different every year. So, Jason says, good morning. Mel Kiper, in his latest mock draft, has defensive end from Penn State, Abdul Carter, going number 1. He's another one of those number 11 defensive players for. We got the one that's playing in Dallas right now.
Parsons,
and then you had
LeVar Arrington.
LeVar Arrington. Number 11's a special number. I don't think they just give it out, do they?
No, I think that's
earn
earn number 11
done
intentionally.
Yeah.
Jacksonville hired the Tampa offensive coordinator.
That's right,
Liam Cohen.
Yeah, that one was a little
Liam
shady.
Cohen.
It was like he went one day and then came back. There was something to that hire. There was something strange about it. Let me finish Jason's message here real quick. Abdul Carter going number 1 to the Titans. God, so they're gonna play with Will Levis as their quarterback. I'm just wondering. I don't know. He has Cam Ward going number 2 to Cleveland, Travis Hunter number 3 to the Giants. So they're still not taking a quarterback.
The all-purpose guy.
Shadur Sanders going number 7 to the other team in the Big Apple, the New York Jets. Mel goes good. I mean, Mel is.
Where did he have Cam Ward?
He is really good.
You say number 2?
Let's see. I had Cam Ward going number 2.
Cleveland.
To
Cleveland. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love. This is rare for me. Cleveland's coach. I think they got the right coach.
Yeah.
I'm horrible with names here lately. Brett, you have to tell me his name. Kevin Stefanski. Yeah. He just I don't know. He just looks like he fits there in that city, and it's just like Sirianni. He got a lot of bad publicity, but look what he winds up doing. He just fits in Philadelphia. I just think that Stefanski is the man there. And it's all about getting a quarterback, as it is with every NFL team. I mean, believe it or not, there's plenty of defensive players to go around. There's plenty of offensive linemen and running backs and receivers to go around. But there's not enough quarterbacks to go around. Not enough quarterbacks to go around.
Speaking of quarterbacks, you mentioned quarterbacks going to bad teams. One that sticks out to me, David Carr, who started out with Houston. It ruined him, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. And there's been others, I'm sure.
He got sacked like 100 times in his first year.
Yep.
David Carr, okay.
Yeah, the
on
first.
His back more
the
he was
first.
standing up. And not, what's the other Carr? That's
Derek.
Derek is still in the league.
I thought he was good until he got to New Orleans, and he just hadn't been the same since then. I don't know
I think it was.
Yeah.
Did he play? Did he play under Gruden?
Yep.
Or not? There was a time they were pretty good offensively.
Yeah.
There was a time they were pretty good offensively, but I don't know. I don't know what happened down the road there, down that path. I really don't. A couple more here if they're worth mentioning here. Let's see. I'm going to skip that one and tell you that Auburn's Freeze diagnosed with prostate cancer. Do you guys know?
Hugh Freeze.
Okay, Hugh Freeze, Coach Hugh Freeze. That's tough. Hopefully he's called it early enough.
Right.
That it won't be an issue. That's what we'll say. We got to take our next time out. Which one of you two? I don't know if Lenny got lyrics or not. You two. You two. That's my guess. You better not have you two as your lyrics, Mike Powell. What you got?
Okay. This one's hard, but I will say it's in honor of an achievement. Okay.
In honor of an achievement.
Dark in the city, night is a wire. Steam in the subway, earth is afire.
We'll be back in a minute.
The Get Out and Ride sales event is underway at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Get up to $3,000 off select models of Yamaha side-by-sides. But that's not all. See the Suzuki King Quad with 0% financing for up to 36 months or $2,000 in customer cash back. And see the legendary Kawasaki Ninja bikes. And see the new Ninja Razor Pro lineup. All at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
Rhodes & Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agriculture fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes & Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
Buying a Bobcat is now easier than ever at West End Sales in Vail. Now get 0% APR financing. That means low monthly payments. Or you can get $1,200 instant rebates on selected models. Now is the time to buy. Like we said, it's easier than ever. Again, get 0% APR financing or get $1,200 instant rebate on selected Bobcat models at West End Sales at the Highway 1827 West intersection in Vail. Online at westendSales.com and like them on Facebook too.
This is Creighton Kell with Kell Insurance. We have been helping people for over 25 years with all their Medicare needs. We represent the same national and local companies as the insurance agencies you see on TV. And you know what? We can sit down with you one-on-one and help you find the right plan just for you.
Kell Insurance is located beside the Cultural Center and behind Gillum Realty in downtown Lincolnton. 107 North Cedar Street. Call 704-732-4646 and follow them on Facebook. Kell Insurance.
Look who just flew into town. Wild Birds Unlimited has expanded their nature shop, the latest in beautiful Denver, North Carolina. You'll want to take the short drive from Lincolnton for all your seeds and feeders, hobby guides, gift cards, and more. Philip and Renee look forward to seeing you soon, and tell them that WLON sent you. Wild Birds Unlimited, now serving Lincoln and Catawba counties. Wild Birds Unlimited.
At Scooters Coffee, we like to think of ourselves as day makers. A quick stop at Scooters can mean a fresh start to the morning, a midday break, or an afternoon reward to a long, busy day. Scooters Coffee has hot drinks, cold drinks, protein shakes, smoothies, and don't forget their great selection of food items. And Scooters reminds you to have an amazing day with a sticker on every item. Stop by 689 North Highway 16, Denver today. Scooters Coffee, serving smiles every day.
Welcome back. Rodney Willis checking in.
Rodney Willis.
Oh, well, he made a guess, so.
Okay.
Yep, and that's, I'm gonna say he's correct. I shouldn't have looked. I can't guess anymore now, but give him one more time, Mike.
All right. Dark in the city, night is a wire. Steam in the subway,
That's
earth
it.
is a
He's
fire.
got it. I know it now after I read
Okay.
it. Yeah. Yep.
No.
The achievement, I guess, that you're talking about was
Yeah.
last night's basketball game.
You got it.
Right? So there's your
Song released in 1982.
Did you ever get it, Lenny? Yeah, I wouldn't have got it, I don't think. But now that you put the tune with it, in my head, now that I know the tune, it's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Say again? I didn't hear you talking in the microphone.
I don't want to hear that anyway.
Well, we're gonna Rodney's the winner, Brett and Rodney,
Rodney.
first ones to get it here this morning.
No Ned, right?
Yeah.
No
Ned. Maybe his meeting has started. What time was the meeting?
I think at 10 or 12.
Well, it hadn't
I'm not
started
sure.
yet then.
Yeah.
Rodney says, "Hungry like the wolf."
You got it. Duran.
Yep.
What was the year of that, Mike?
82.
See, that's right in there too. That was the chant of the Wolfpack when they made that run in '83 too.
You
Basketball.
got it. Yeah. The Cardiac Pack.
It is a great song or line for any sports team named the Wolves or Wolf Pack. And
yeah, I'm on the hunt. I'm after you. I mean, yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah. Hungry like the wolf. I mean, that's I like it. Looking at the bracket from last night, the Lincoln Maiden game was another classic. I mean, you hate to see either team lose when it's like that because it's just, one play here or there, and you'll be thinking about it, for a long time. But
all spring, I guess, for Maiden.
Four incredible games between Lincoln and Maiden this year. Maiden won the first two. Lincoln won the second two. Lincoln a winner last night. 72-69 in overtime. It's the second time that the two teams went to overtime. One of the other games ended on a buzzer beater. So it's amazing how two teams are that close in talent, and it just comes down to a play or two each and every game. There was a time that Lincoln looked like they were going to pull away toward the end of regulation, and then there was a time that it looked like Maiden would pull away. A 3-point lead in that game Maiden had, that was big.
Yeah.
A 3-point lead at that time was a big lead, because unless they hit a three, it's a 2-possession game, So,
well, Lincoln led by 7 in the fourth quarter.
That was the biggest lead of the game.
And they were running clock, and
it still lost the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 59-52. One of the teams called a timeout with about 3:30 left in the fourth quarter. 59-52, Lincoln.
And then, like you said, when Maiden took a 3-point lead in overtime, that seemed huge. But
it did.
But then I think Lincoln scored the next 5.
Well, I looked up and I thought, I thought Lincoln was pulling away in regulation. I looked at the clock, and then, as like you said, Maiden scored 6 straight to make it a 1-point game. I know they scored 6 straight. They might have scored more, but I know they scored 6 straight to make it a 1-point game. And then in the overtime, my first thought, well, Lincoln's out of gas. They're not going to be able to overcome this deficit. But then I looked at the clock, and it said 2 minutes. And 2 minutes is a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time, I mean, if that's down to 30 seconds and they're down 3, it's totally different in that game. But it was just a terrific game, and somebody had to lose. I mean, somebody is going to walk away a winner, and somebody's got to lose those great ones. But I think these are basketball games. The 4 basketball games that they played each other this year, we'll remember for a long time. I mean,
I can't remember another series between two teams in the same conference meeting 4 times and having these
splitting.
kind of results.
Do you, Brett? Because you're the king of the memory over there.
No,
I know you said one time Lincoln and East played
back-to-back years. They played 4 times,
but East
the
won
same
all
team
4,
won,
and then Lincoln won all 4. You know why the reason was for that? You guys know what the reason was for that? They met 4 times. There's a one big reason for that. East won. That's it. Sage Surratt was on the winning team all 8 times.
Yeah.
He never lost in that series, I don't think.
I don't think he did.
Yep, he never lost in that series.
In any sport.
In any sport. That's exactly right. Football team as well, because he led Lincoln to a win on a last-second touchdown catch in the end zone.
Yeah.
Down at East Lincoln in his senior year. Monty says, great game between Maiden and Wolves. Great job broadcasting. Thank you, Monty. Mike and I appreciate that as well. My wife loves that term as well. Have you noticed that in all of sports and maybe news and everything, the word to, T-O-O, and also are gone. And they all use as well. I don't know what brought that on, but
I wish they'd get away from at the end of the day, but
well, Mike, at the end of the day, what else you gonna say? Yeah. I mean,
just that phrase. It's such a cliche now.
Right? But it is what it is. That's another stupid
another one. Yeah.
And that's an older one.
Yeah,
than this
old.
one.
Yeah,
that's an older one than this one, but it's still common. Still common.
What coach do you associate?
Especially amongst coaches.
Which coach do you associate it is what it is?
John Fox.
John Fox.
He said it in every press conference.
I can't believe that's good, Brad. I would have sat here a long time and not come up with John
when
Fox.
he was the Panthers coach.
Yeah,
I listened to a lot of local sports radio out of Charlotte.
Oh yeah,
and that's what he said over and over.
Is he a Hall of Fame coach?
Nah,
I don't think so.
I liked him. I always liked him. His years with the Giants, he won a Super Bowl, didn't he?
He did.
Maybe not.
I don't know.
You're looking at me like
I thought
as
a head coach.
Yeah,
in Denver.
He won the Super Bowl in Denver.
Oh, did he?
He definitely did not.
But he did not
with
at
the Giants.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Who won the Giants?
I can't remember if he won with Denver or if it was Kubiak.
If Parcells won 1 or 2, he won 2, and Coughlin won 2. So that's the way, that's okay.
Yeah, those are the Giants Super Bowl.
Long ago. And a land
And
far,
far
far away,
away.
for the Giants, that's for sure. Next up for Lincoln is Salisbury. Salisbury. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys this stat, and the Lincoln people aren't going to want to hear it, but Lincoln lost to Pine Lake Prep earlier this year by 15 points. Salisbury defeated Pine Lake Prep last night 81-46.
Ouch.
So what is that, a 35-point win?
Yeah.
There for Salisbury. They will host Lincoln on Tuesday night. Lincoln a 12 going to number 4 Salisbury. This is where the seeding skewed, though. Lincoln's better than a 12. They just had to get 12 because all of the conference champions were 1 through 11. So their RPI, I think, was what, 5th overall? Brent? Third overall in RPI. It will be a tough draw, though, for Lincoln going to Salisbury and playing on their court. Reedsville, want to guess if they won or lost?
Yeah.
94-62, a manhandling of North Stanley last night. They will face Monroe. Monroe, a 59-50 winner over Hendersonville in last night.
It was Gary Kubiak that won the Super Bowl in Denver with Peyton Manning, not John Fox. John Fox does not have a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
I forgot about
Thought he
Kubiak.
did.
Kubiak's first year.
I remember it when you say that, but I had absolutely forgot about him coming in there.
Yeah.
More of your 2A boys bracket. North Surrey last night takes down Anson 95-62. Is this right? Am I still right?
That might have been the first round.
Okay, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, North Surrey played somebody better than that last night. Who was it? Community School of Davidson they beat last night.
Okay.
64-58.
Yep, I'd scrolled down to the wrong round. I'm just trying to find what happened there. I can't find the bandies.
Oh, here, I'll finish those out for you.
Can you scroll on down below that? If it ain't the bottom down there.
It shouldn't be at the bottom.
Lincoln Charter beat Mount Pleasant 70-65.
Okay.
So North Surrey and Lincoln Charter will play Tuesday at North Surrey. Shelby beat Owen 95-65, and Bandy's beat Forest Hills 80-62. And that sets up Bandy's at Shelby.
It'll be a good
next
one.
Tuesday. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I've seen Shelby a couple times. They got the quarterback.
Both teams have good size, I think.
Yeah. Shelby does. They got one of the Hollifield boys. He's 6'4". Then they got the quarterback on the football team. What's his name?
Farmer.
Land Farmer. Yeah.
See, it's just giving me the 4 games there, and it's not. That's what's strange on my bracket here. Maybe I was bragging on these brackets. So good. There we go. You had it right, Lenny. It is on this bracket over here. Yep.
But shit, when I was looking home, it's on that side. You're right. I mean, it's on
yeah, it's a kind of puzzling on here to see it. Whose win in the second round there was the most either surprising or impressive, whichever way you want to go.
I'd say Salisbury beating Pine Lake Prep by 35.
That's exactly.
I didn't see that coming. I thought Pine Lake Prep might be good enough to beat them.
Yep. Mike Painter says a lot for sports in our area to have 4 of the 8 in the West being local teams. Yeah, I'll say that's pretty incredible. I'm going to say this too, Mike Painter. Lincoln County, to me, as a whole, had their best season ever of boys basketball.
It was a good one.
North Lincoln was ousted last night in a very close game with Hunter Huss, but their record all year long was the best. A good East Lincoln team was knocked out last night.
They were good too.
Lincoln Charter still going.
Yeah.
And Lincoln's still going. It has to be the best boys basketball season as a whole ever.
And girls wasn't bad. I mean, you still got North Lincoln's girls alive. East Lincoln lost in the first round to Highbrighton. Lincoln's girls made the playoffs.
And I was
well, they had to play a county opponent, Lincoln Charter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they played them pretty tough, I think.
Yeah, 40. What was it? 45.
30.
Yeah.
31, something like that. And then, but Lincoln Charters girls lost.
They lost
last night.
Yeah.
They did lose last night. Who took them down last night? Maybe I can find that here in a few minutes. So first, I want to get to the 3A boys bracket from last night. Ashbrook 79 to 60 over Northeast Guilford. You have to bear with me on some of these abbreviations, getting them right here. It was Central Davidson taking down Concord 50 to 44. North Lincoln, a great season, comes to an end for North Lincoln. Hunter Huss, a winner 78 to 69. And it was High Point Central advancing to play Hunter Huss. High Point Central 72-71 over J.M. Robinson. And guess what? Now Huss goes back home as the higher seed to host that game in the next round, because High Point Central advances to the third round as a 20 seed. Greensboro Dudley. We didn't know what to expect out of Dudley. I didn't know how close East Lincoln could play them. They played them better than I thought they might, because I saw a couple of Dudley scores and looked like they were really good. But
the
this
number
was
4 seed in the bracket.
Yep, 3. The 3 on my bracket.
Okay, mine says 4, but all right.
4 might be their ranking.
Oh,
the 3's their
could be.
seed.
Yeah, that's right.
But they East Lincoln played them tight, 8-point game, 65 or 12-point game, 65 to 53 last night.
You know who has a win over Dudley this year?
Reidsville.
Salisbury.
Oh, Salisbury. Impressive. I knew it'd be. You were going to say one of the 2A teams for some reason. I just thought it would be somebody that we have a link to like that. Ben L. Smith 79, AC Reynolds 61. Crest over Northwest Cabarrus 64-58. Crest has had a really good season.
Well, look how good that Big South
basketball
is showing.
Yes, you're exactly right. Oak Grove boys and girls, I think, are both advancing to the third round. Oak Grove 75-72 over East Henderson.
That was an undefeated East Henderson team.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, they were the number 2 seed.
And that puts Crest with a home game.
Yep.
Crest, Hunter Huss, and Ashbrook will all be at home on Tuesday.
Wow. Is there anything there that is a big surprise in that bracket? I guess. Well, you can't always go by seedings. This is the second number 2 seed we've seen go down.
No, because some conferences are just better than others.
Yeah.
Obviously, that Big South is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea about High Point Central.
Should RPI be based on non-conference only?
Maybe. I don't know. Probably not, because there's just not enough games.
Should there be more weight? No. I mean, I'm just trying to think of a way to tweak it where it does come out closer to the way it should be. You know, I mean, and maybe there's not a way. I don't know, but
I've kind of thought that maybe playing, if you beat a team that's above you in classification, maybe that should help you a little more. But then you could schedule like the weakest, the 2A team could schedule the weakest 3A teams. It's kind of hard to do.
And I don't want it to get where, and right now I think it is this way. If you lose to a team in a higher classification that has a pretty good RPI, you're going to gain points. I don't know if you should gain points for losing a game or not. I just don't know. I don't know how to tweak it and get it just right.
High Point Central is in the 3A Mid-State Conference with Dudley and Ben L. Smith. So that conference also has 3 teams still playing.
That's right.
Rodney sends me a message here, and I wasn't leaving West Lincoln out by no means. I was just giving the ones that that did go to the playoffs. But West Lincoln, he said they won 8 games, and I will tell you this about West Lincoln: they were better than their record. They had a talented team that went through some injuries and could have won more games. And one of their big wins was over West Caldwell.
Correct.
They played Lincoln to a 5-point game, I think it was, 5 or 7. One of those nights. I was going to get that. I didn't want to downplay it at all. 8-17, but they could have easily won 12.
They lost some tough ones. If anybody read my story on McAllister Anderson in the paper, of course, he averaged 18 points a game, but he went through. He had pneumonia, then he broke his wrist, and there were other injuries too, right?
He needs to go to Duke.
Yeah, Bryce Bedingfield.
Bryce Bedingfield. Even Jace Rowe, the point guard, had an injury. And I'm not going to mention any names, but their best inside player from last year, he elected not to play this season. And then one of the other rows could have been a starter, I think I was told, but he –
injuries in basketball hurt you worse than anything else because you only have a starting five. And if you get a couple of injuries to your starting five, it's bigger in basketball than it is other sports.
They were considerably better.
They were.
Their record.
They were.
Finally showed.
Let's see. What else I was going to – I'm going to go back to the brackets here. We're going to do girls now, and this is the 2A girls that I've got pulled up. North Wilkes over Surrey Central, 63-30. Hendersonville over Shelby, 61-56. Lincoln Charter falls to Forbush. I didn't expect this, not especially this score, 53-30. 53-30 in that. That's low scoring.
Yeah,
it really is.
There
and
were
also
some surprising lopsided games.
There were
in the girls bracket.
I saw Maiden play a little bit this year, and their girls were handled pretty well last night by T.W. Andrews. Did not expect that. I wasn't sure they would go up there and win the game.
I'm like you. The way that it's handled,
29-point win, 65-36 in that one. But congratulations to the Lady Blue Devils on a fine season.
That's a 24-1 team. T.W. Andrews.
I've seen that.
Wow.
I went and looked. And I seen
who was their loss to? UConn.
Bishop McGinnis.
Same thing.
Yeah.
The equivalent, the high school equivalent, right? Bishop McGinnis.
UConn.
What was the score of that one? Does it have it?
54-43. Bishop McGinnis beat him.
Okay.
And Bishop McGinnis is 25-2. So
right.
Here's one that kind of surprises me. Thomas Jefferson rolled through the Southern Piedmont 1A, 2A in girls, but I saw they got beat last night by Queens Grant. Who's Queens Grant? Another charter.
Yep. Bandy's over Southwest Randolph. How about Bandy's? Boys and girls still playing. 3 seed in boys, a 4 seed in girls, and from the conference.
Correct.
From the conference tells you how good the conference was. Bandy's over Forest. Forest Hills is up next, actually, but
Southwestern Randolph.
Over Southwestern Randolph, 53-47. Forest Hills over East Surrey, 67-37. Let's see. Bandy's will continue to be on the road. Didn't their boys? That's who the boys just match up, wasn't it?
Forest Hills, yeah.
Yep. Lexington over East Rutherford, 60-52, and East Burke over Randleman. We would expect East Burke to cruise in that one, and they did, 64-43 over Randleman last night. Girls basketball. Any big surprises to you guys in that? If so,
no.
Well, no. Mike says no.
You mean
real quick.
you mean at East Burke
in the girls?
Oh,
in the
anywhere
girls
in the
bracket.
girls?
Biggest surprise in the girls brackets that I gave.
Bandy's knocking off a 26-2 team on the road.
They're a 3 seed coming out of their conference.
Yeah, I would say that's it, the biggest one.
Yeah. Okay. I'm reading through them, and some of them I'm not even noticing just because I'm reading through what they were.
What I want to know is,
and I guess to me a little bit. You read off who T.W. Andrews. They hadn't lost but one game. I won't say that was really a surprise, them winning, but it might make
that margin.
It might make a little tougher road down the road for East Burke. That I think they're
if those two hook up.
I mean, it sounds like they're.
Well, the good thing for East Burke, they would only have to play one of North Wilkes and T.W. Andrews. Those two will meet first.
And North Wilkes is the one.
They're the one.
Yeah, they're
overall
the
one seed.
We played them last year in the first round of the playoff. They were very young last year, and they're still. I told you they had a big girl that didn't play at all last year. She's sophomore this year. She's 6'2".
Yeah.
Ooh.
Bare, B-A-R-E, last name, and she's got a sister. It's a point guard. She's 5'10". She's a senior. So,
that's a front line.
So they're pretty. And they really had 3 sisters last year. I guess one graduated last year, so they still have two remaining. So they're pretty good.
Yeah, I think East Burke's road to the championship might be a little tougher than it was.
Okay, I want to know
last
what
year.
North Lincoln's road to the champion. This is a team that hasn't lost since the season opened. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we're getting ready to get there.
Okay.
3A girls, Kramer is the number 1 seed. They defeated Rockingham County last night 49-32. Freedom falls to Dudley 55-50. J.M. Robinson wins over High Brighton. High Brighton defeated East Lincoln in the first round. Then they fall to J.M. Robinson 55-45. That's a 5 beating a 21. And Hunter Huss, winner last night as well over AC Reynolds. That's a 13 beating a 4 in that matchup.
Well, that's I hadn't really heard of Huss doing much in girls
I know.
basketball in the last several years.
So the Big South has
54-46
between boys and girls. They got 5 teams still playing.
That's impressive.
And Hunter Huss has both boys and girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see. I mean, I'm glad for Huss. I really am glad for Hunter
Well, it's
Huss
good to see Gaston County
Yes, it
basketball.
Ashbrook's back. They're on top.
Huss is back.
Huss is right there.
And Stuart Kramer girls,
Yes.
to me, came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I had no idea they were that good.
I just now realize they were the 1 seed.
Well, they got the
when I
one
was-
great
when I was
player,
reading this.
right?
They won the Christmas
I don't
tournament.
know- I don't know anything about
2 years
them.
ago, and
Yeah.
that girl was a freshman.
Yeah.
They're 26-2.
Yeah.
Impressive. North Lincoln, speaking of impressive, all those sophomores on this team, and they win a second-round game last night over Irwin. North Lincoln wins 65-44. Up next, Ben L. Smith. Ben L. Smith, a 67-50 winner over North Buncombe. Oak Grove, I told you the boys and girls both still playing. Oak Grove 66-52 over West Henderson. And it was Pisgah over Ledford, 53-33. That's a pretty good ride. Pisgah to Thomasville to take on Ledford. I mentioned to some people a couple days ago the longest ride that I had seen. I bet there was longer ones, but Brevard and Reedsville met in the first round.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Didn't it say 3 hours and 30
It was
minutes?
over 3 hours.
God.
3 hours and 30 minutes to go, and then like
And a
Brett
running
said,
clock.
have a running clock. The game went way faster than the trip did in that one.
That puts Mike was asking about North Lincoln's road.
Yeah.
They play Ben L. Smith at home Tuesday.
Well.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't. Ben L. Smith's 24-3. They won their conference.
Has Ben L. Smith High School in any sport ever visited Lincoln County? I'm not aware of it.
I'm not aware.
Nope.
I don't know.
And
I think North Lincoln boys played at Ben L. Smith a few years ago.
I get these mixed up. Ben L. Smith, Greensboro.
Greensboro,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Robert McAdoo.
Okay. I did not know that's where he went.
Yeah, Smith and Dudley. The two. Well, Smith has always been a good basketball school.
Not Smith and Wesson.
Yeah.
Smith and Dudley.
And then you got
Yeah.
Grimsley, too, but Grimsley's the biggest out of those. They're 4A. Where Smith and Dudley are 3A.
What was the best news last night for
Well, I
old
was going to
timers?
say, if you're asking me, I think you know.
Well, for you, yeah. But the best news of the night last night was that the defending 1A champion, was it Wilson Prep?
Yeah. Yeah.
They got knocked out last night.
Wilson Prep boys.
Yeah, the Wilson Prep boys lost last night, 55. Excuse me, that's the wrong score. It's not. It's it's posted here. Wilson Prep got beat 67-53. The bad news: Queens Grant was the winner. Of
No,
that.
you're looking at girls.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, you got to be. I got Chatham Central beating Wilson Prep 61-58.
I got it pulled up here, and it says boys, but no. Okay, who did
Queens Grant is in the west, and Wilson Prep's in the east, so that couldn't have been from last night.
Maybe, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that again here. I'm Winston-Salem Prep. My bad. Winston-Salem Prep, not Wilson Prep.
Yeah.
Queens Grant.
Chatham Central beat Wilson Prep.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they got beat, if it's Winston-Salem Prep, too.
Yeah. There are a lot of private and prep schools in the 1A ranks. That is for sure.
Yeah, well, look at who's left in the
There was a score on here. I'm going to have to read them. Oh, yeah, there's a score on here I want to get to. Okay? Bishop McGinnis, this is 1A boys. Bishop McGinnis beat Urari 67-41. Here's the score of the night. North Rowan 109.
Ooh.
Thomas Jefferson 90. You scored 90 and you lose by 19.
Wow.
That had to be one more fast-paced game in that one. Corvian over, you're going to help me here, Brett, CPLA. Something of Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Corvian over CPLA.
Yeah, it's Compton Prep of L.A.
Yeah, that works.
Straight out of Compton.
72-53. I don't know who that would be. Carolina?
College Prep and Leadership Academy from Jamestown, North Carolina.
Yep, 72. Corvian beats them 72-53.
Yeah, Corvian.
If you notice here, I'm mentioning more private schools in the 1A bracket than I thought that was going to be fixed at one time, but more private schools in the 1A bracket that are left than there are public schools. And then I've got CAR, I'm guessing Carolina International.
That's him, Carolina
61,
International.
Mountain Heritage 56.
I think they're from around Concord
pains
area.
Me to see those good teams like Mountain Heritage be put out, by private and charter schools. It really does. Then the other half of that is Queens Grant over Winston-Salem Prep. Now, I got it right this time?
Yeah.
67-53. Bradford falls to East Wilkes 59-56. Eastern Randolph over South Stanley 68-59. And South Stokes 94. Winston-Salem Carver 69. South Stokes
these last couple of years have been really
they're a
really
seed.
good.
They're a 2 seed. So, yeah.
That one it could be. You could have Bishop McGinnis, Corvian, and Queens Grant all in the regional semifinals.
Yeah, the 1A is just loaded with private and charter schools.
It is that. Yep.
The public schools really are huge disadvantage in 1A.
I'd like to see a poll taken from all the 1A teams, 1A schools that are not private, and see if they would rather play a class up.
Mm-hmm.
We got to take our final time out. Breck's got to give us his lyrics for the day.
That's right.
She stood there bright as the sun on that California coast.
I got that one. We'll be back in a moment.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com.
Make 2025 the year you move into your new home from Key Builders of Lincoln. Let Key Builders help you make your dream home a reality and do it this year. Visit them online at keybuildersnc.com and check out their photo galleries. They are a licensed general contractor with over 20 years of building history and experience. Make 2025 the year of your new home. See your dream come true at Key Builders 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
For where 2 or 3 have gathered together in my name, I am there in their midst. Matthew 18:20. You are invited to gather with us at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church, located at 520 Madison Street, just up from Betty Ross Park. Sunday school meets at 10, and worship follows at 11 every Sunday. Follow us on Facebook for special service announcements. Join us Sunday at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church.
Buying a Bobcat is now easier than ever at West End Sales in Vail. Now get 0% APR financing. That means low monthly payments. Or you can get $1,200 instant rebates on selected models. Now is the time to buy. Like we said, it's easier than ever. Again, get 0% APR financing or get $1,200 instant rebate on selected Bobcat models at West End Sales at the Highway 1827 West intersection in Vail. Online at westendsales.com and like them on Facebook too.
Welcome back, Sports Talk. David, Brett, Mike, Lenny. Glad to have Lenny in here this morning with us. What's the biggest college hoops game of the day, Lenny? Think about that a minute while
There's
Brett,
a pretty good schedule today.
While Brett gives his lyrics one more time, we do have. I was fortunate enough to get this one. Lenny got it. Did you ever think of it, Mike?
I did. I thought of the title. I knew the artist immediately.
And the only text we've got with the correct lyrics, or the only guess on this one, was from Rodney Willis. What are they, Brett?
She stood there bright as the sun on that California coast.
Yes, that's a great first line, isn't it?
It is.
Yep, it really is. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Hollywood Nights. He has good lyrics. I don't know anything that he does bad as far as his musical career, anything like that. One of the favorites. Wish I would have got to see him. I always tell you guys when we have a Bob Seger, I did meet him one time at the airport in Charlotte, but that was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
a long time ago. If I had to guess, Bob Seger stands at about 5'8". Would you expect it bigger? Or not?
I thought he was like
bigger.
over 6 feet.
Yeah.
Thought he'd be,
Thought he'd be bigger.
I told that one time.
I may be wrong, but the way I remember it, I think he probably stands at about 5'8" or so. Biggest upset last night, high school basketball. You got one? No? Yeah? No? I don't.
Maybe Bandy's girls.
Yeah, I mean that's
record wise, yeah,
that would be
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah, okay, I can take that one. A long-standing tradition at Bandy's when it comes to basketball.
Yeah,
you know how that is. So.
They seem to be really well coached when I've seen them.
Yep.
Too. This isn't their most talented team, but and they finished 4th in the conference.
Third, I believe. Let's see, East Burke, Newton.
Maiden was 2nd, right?
8 and 6. That's 4th.
Yeah.
4th.
Yeah, that's what.
It's 4th.
Yeah, 4th and
Lincoln
3rd.
was 5th. Lincoln was
boys
the 5th
was
coming out
3rd,
of
and boys were 4th.
Yeah.
And they.
Maidens, who I forgot.
Or I got that backwards. Boys were 3rd, and
girls
were
were
4th for
4th.
Bandy's, and they're both still alive.
Yeah.
So it tells you what kind of conference.
I saw Bandy's once or twice. I'm just impressed by their size. I mean, they got the 6'9" kid, but the other guys are all physical kids, good size on them.
That could be a good game, them and Shelby.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, that would
be tough under the basket between those two.
Just remember this. We should always say this, because Shelby is Shelby. So be sure and eat your Wheaties, right?
Yep.
Whenever you go to that.
Yeah, and I just looked at Shelby all year like they're in a weak conference, a weak basketball conference, and I know Lincoln played them.
It is.
It was Shelby's first game of the year, so it's hard to judge. But Lincoln beat them easily.
Handedly.
Yeah, it was their first game.
But it was their first game right after football had ended,
improved.
and I don't think you can really go off of that.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
I know they beat Burns a couple times.
They beat Burns in the
I think they
tournament.
lost to Burns once.
Well, yeah, they ended up tied for the regular season. Then Shelby won the tournament final over Burns.
So I don't really know what to expect out of Shelby.
That's right. You're right.
But I think it'd probably be a pretty even game. I would guess.
I thought they were pretty good, the boys. So and they handled them pretty good.
Yeah, but it probably I think Shelby they had 4 or 5 guys that were on the football team that are currently on the basketball team. But it'd probably be a closer game now if Lincoln.
Oh yeah, I would think so.
I still think Lincoln would beat them, but
Well, there's so much to happen that'll match up on not likely happen.
No.
Between Lincoln and Shelby.
No, but we were just trying to compare Bandies.
I guess that'll
and
be
Shelby
next
more.
year, right?
Yeah, next year it'll definitely happen.
It'll definitely happen.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Scott says, tell all Lincoln fans the easiest and quickest way to get to Salisbury is go to Catawba and get on Highway 70 East. It will come out near the school.
All right.
Rodney says he got those lyrics right. Bob is a classic rock legend, no doubt. Turn the page, Night Moves, Like a Rock are among just a few of his
out of Detroit
hits. Yeah. Night Moves, I still think is probably. I think that was his first hit, and probably still most people's favorite.
Yeah,
you know?
Rite of Passage, Teenage Years. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Scott's right behind me.
Here.
Sneaking in.
I just got back from Salisbury.
Just got back from Salisbury. So the quickest way, at least when it's non-trafficy, because
by far the easiest way.
No traffic this morning, I bet though, right?
Well, there's no traffic. Hey, all you got to do is go through Statesville, and then it's 4 lane.
Go through Statesville, 4 lane the rest of the way. So give me a time. Give me a time of travel from here or from Lincoln to Salisbury. Hour and 15. Well, I was hoping you was going to say 45. Didn't get that. Clemson versus Virginia today. What kind of? I know what Clemson's doing. They're probably as good as they've ever been in college basketball right now. What has happened to Virginia?
Abrupt coaching change right before the season had to be part
and they're
of it.
playing a little better now. I mean, they've played a little better here lately. But not the Virginia that we're used to.
That's at 12 noon. Maryland's at Penn State also at noon. Miami, speaking of teams that have really sunken, man, Miami, UNC, and resurgent UNC. Lynn, you happy with the way things have gone over the last several weeks?
Yeah, I guess.
You guess.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay. They are playing better.
They're playing better.
They're playing better.
Well, what about the extension?
Yeah, how about the extension for Hubie?
And that was actually done in December.
Oh.
But it come out, I guess, it's catching so much heat that they thought we got to put this out.
You better wait till they put together a few wins.
It was finalized last summer, and it was signed in December.
He may have got his extension in December, but we're just celebrating it at our breakfast this morning. I didn't realize he had an extension. Yeah,
we're happy.
All the Duke fans.
Duke fans are delighted that
he's a better coach than we're giving him credit for.
They've won 4 in a row.
Yeah, they're starting to fight. They've apparently figured out.
To me, his trouble's been winning the games that go down the wire.
Right.
I mean. Of course, that's the ones you. That's the ones when you show your.
I guess I've told you all this. I guess I'm a little nitpicky, but I'm concerned with the discipline.
Okay.
That's the few things I don't really, shirt tails out. That don't mean nothing, but it does to me. If you can't do the little things.
I'll say this. You notice that, but and I would probably notice it with Duke. I didn't even notice, but you would notice it more because you have an eye on them all the time. I didn't realize that was an issue. So.
Just.
But I'm with you on that. That's
down at Clemson that night. That second half, you can't really say a whole lot. But 3 guys played the whole second half.
Right.
Shirt tails out.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, It don't.
So the officials don't make them put them back in anymore. The officials don't make them put them back in anymore.
Well, they do some, but I think it's when they have a timeout or something like that. Because I have seen the referee one night tapping Jalen Withers, put your shirt in.
Yeah, I know. What the worst look? If it's all out, it looks better than it does when you only got half of it out. Yeah, it looks like you just I don't know, a little sloppy. But yeah, I hadn't thought about that. But I do understand.
I told you a couple of weeks ago. I said I thought he'd get a year, and then when Roy Williams did the blessing, I thought, well, then he'll definitely be here a year. But then it come out this week. But it was December the 4th, I think, when the contract was actually extended.
Carolina 12 noon today at home against Miami. Syracuse goes to Virginia Tech. That's also at 12 noon. UConn and Providence. What's UConn's chances of getting back to the national title game? Give me a 1 to 10.
3.
I put it about 5. I don't think they will this year. But
yeah. Well, 5 means you're 50-50.
Yeah, maybe 4. They don't seem to. I don't know, a lot of different pieces.
Auburn and Kentucky. Oh, the SEC is going to have good matchups every week.
They got a bunch of good ones.
It's got to. Auburn at Kentucky, number 17, hosting number 1. Will there be a rushing the court after the game? No. Only if Kentucky wins, right? I figured somebody was going to say that.
No.
Only if
at Kentucky, did you say?
It's at Kentucky.
I'd still say
I'm going to say Auburn beats them.
Yeah, Auburn probably does win that game. But if Kentucky won, would they rush the court? Would their fans rush the court, beating number 1? I don't think I mean, the teams that are number 1 quite often and have been there a while, and I'm talking about Kentucky, I just don't think has to rush the court.
No,
you know what I mean?
I'd say no if they win.
Yep. Trying to find some more of the.
Alabama, Tennessee. That's the
Alabama,
other
Tennessee.
really big
that
one.
That must be later in the day.
4 o'clock.
Okay. Also got. I want to throw this one out there. Gardner Webb at Presbyterian. You got Texas Tech and Kansas. Texas Tech's ranked 10th in the country.
They're really good.
Their coach is
Brent McCaslin.
What happened to the other guy that was there? Went to Texas, didn't he? He took the Texas.
Chris Beard.
Chris Beard.
Then he got
now
in
he's at Ole Miss.
Texas.
Yeah, and this guy's the
Ole Miss now.
Yeah.
This guy is the coach. McCaslin is the coach between Beard. They had his assistant was at Texas Tech first, and now he's back on the bench at Mississippi with Beard. Got real big, thick horn-rimmed glasses. Don't know his name, but I don't know what the deal was why he left, because their program didn't drop all real bad. I don't know if something went on or what, but he wasn't there but like a year or 2.
Have there been any other coaches fired in the second half of the season or stepped down or anything?
Well, we know that
Mike Woodson
in Indiana is stepping down at the end of the season.
Who do you guys think will get that?
Boy,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Y'all was talking last week, May had turned it down, Dusty May.
Dusty May got his contract in Michigan.
And I heard that
is it an attractive job? I guess the money will be attractive.
I think it's well, of course, iconic.
Neither of you guys said yes right off the bat. There,
well, I was just thinking it depends on where you are, where you're leaving.
Right.
Yeah.
To go there.
Yeah. At one time, a national power. I
mean, look at this guy at Louisville. What he's done in 1 year, coming from College of Charleston. How he's turned Louisville around.
I know.
Can somebody like that, who's at a smaller school like College of Charleston, leave and go to Indiana and turn them around? And
well, my first thought was, would they try to steal him away?
I don't think he'd go.
I don't either.
Yeah,
I don't think he'd leave
not.
Louisville
Does
for Indiana.
Indiana have to get an established, nationally known coach?
I don't think so.
They're not going to.
I don't believe they are.
You almost feel like they need to look at a young gun, like you said, a College of Charleston.
Yeah.
Somewhere, because I don't know that established is going to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're looking.
How about Bitch Cronin?
UCLA. I think they're looking at that right now, but I
you wouldn't leave UCLA for Indiana, I don't think.
I thought he sang for REO Speedway.
I wouldn't, based on the climate alone.
Well, I heard this guy,
Plus Kevin.
I heard they contacted this guy immediately. He said, "I'm not interested." Brad Stevens.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
No, they might. Yeah,
He's born and bred Indiana guy.
Yeah.
What's his job these days?
Celtics front
Still
office,
there?
eh?
Still there with the Celtics? Okay. Well, he's doing a pretty good job there, and not the day-to-day pressure, I wouldn't think, of being a GM as there is of being a coach. You know, I mean, you got a little bit more day-to-day pressure there for sure.
What was it, Lanny? It's mentioned Brunell. Was there some rumor?
Yeah, Brad Brunell.
One time I was most definitely, but I don't know what kind of NIL money's coming Clemson's way now. You know, that might just be a lateral move, but with much more pressure.
A lot more pressure, for sure. At Clemson, he can go on into perpetuity.
That's right.
I mean, they've been really good lately, but I don't think the expectations are in the same ballpark as Indiana.
No, like you.
Okay, put yourself in his shoes. What would you do? Mm-hmm. Now you're thinking.
I guess it comes down to money.
Well, okay, I say the money's matched. Clemson will match whatever Indiana is offering you.
Just stay on Lake Hartwell.
I got a good option here.
Okay,
Buzz Williams.
Oh, great
Texas
coach.
A&M.
Great coach.
Yeah.
Get out of the SEC and get away from.
Yeah.
Have you seen him mention? Or you just? I don't think I've heard about, but he's a Texas native, and the only thing about him is Texas
and I don't know.
home.
Texas A&M would probably match anything Indiana offered him, but
they can pay well, and because I heard that's why he left, but paid well, much better from there to Virginia Tech, and he's a Texas native, you know.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
But I think he could be Pride, the right program.
He's been able to go and win, right? You know, pretty quick about everywhere that. Everywhere he's going.
Or any other SEC coaches that might be lured to go to the Midwest. Nate Oates from Bama's not going anywhere.
He's
right?
not going.
I don't know.
Who's the next ACC coach to lose their job? Final topic.
Yeah, Vatek. I don't know who it is.
I think he's good safe.
You do?
I think he's a good coach myself.
Okay.
Mike Young. I think he's.
Oh yeah, Mike Young.
He
was from Wofford.
If you can win at Wofford.
Yeah.
I can't think of one off the tip of my tongue who it might be. Who might be?
Did the BC coach get fired?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I think it might be a little bit, but I think he'll because
Syracuse.
He hasn't been there but 2 years.
Syracuse.
But the guys
Adrian
Syracuse,
Autry.
they're not going to put up that long.
No,
We're going to go with Syracuse.
He'll
then.
probably get another year, but
maybe.
As Regis used to say, that is our final answer. Syracuse. For Brett, Lenny, Mike, I'm David. See you next week.